Michigan Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is standing by her controversial comments made last week, claiming Palestinians gave Jews a, quote, safe haven in the Middle East after the Holocaust. Last night, the Congresswoman responded to her critics this way.
There is something, like, in many ways beautiful about that. My ancestors, many had died or had to give up their livelihood, their human dignity to provide a safe haven for Jews in our world. And that is something that I wanted to recognize and kind of honor in some sort of way. I got a text message from a friend who's like, hey, next time, really clarify, maybe talk like a fourth grader, because maybe the racist idiots would understand you better.
Wow. Congresswoman Tlaib's original comments drew anger from Republicans, including President Trump, with many calling on congressional leadership to take action. But top Democrats like House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Majority Leader Steny Hoyer say Republicans have mischaracterized Tlaib's comments and should apologize to her. Sometimes when you continue talking and you continue making mistakes and you don't acknowledge that maybe you could have done something differently, it causes you to make more.
Right. Well, I don't think she made a mistake. I think she's being smeared in a political fight, largely over the Jewish voter. But, I mean, if you look at the statement that she made, it's pretty clear.
Well, she's historically incorrect.
I don't know if she's... The charge was that she had made an anti-Semitic statement.
She said that her ancestors, she takes comfort in the fact that they made room for Israel and for those people. And in fact, it was as if it was a generous thing. And
no,
in fact,
she said they were forced.
Right, but that's because they sided with Hitler. I mean, the Palestinian leader at the time was an ally of Hitler, and there are photographs together. And she doubled down when she went back on last night. She doubled down on the idea of comparing what happened to her ancestors to what happened to the Jews. And in fact, other people that allied with Hitler were put to death.
No, I think what she's saying is, there's a common experience here in terms of the Palestinian people who were forced off land, people who felt that they were being oppressed, but they made room, and the Jews went through what she described as a tragedy of sorrow.
Hold on, so that we're not talking past each other and over each other. So, Juan, what you're saying is true, and what Melissa is saying is true. And it is possible and probable, and in this case, actually true, that they can exist at the same time.
Wait.
So my question for you is...
I disagree with that. Hang on, because I just want to be clear. There is no common experience between what happened to the Palestinians and all of the Jews who were marched into an oven.
I didn't say that. I'm saying...
What Juan is talking about, and Juan, I want to make sure we get this right, is you're saying that Rashida Tlaib was saying, look, how she felt about her own ancestries was the word calming.
Correct.
That should have gone there. And the point that I made with you is, if she really wanted to say that, she should have said it correctly the first time, and then said it correctly the second time.
I wasn't talking about that part of it all. I was talking about her rewriting of history.
Go ahead.
And even CNN's John King called her out for her revisionist history on how things went down, as Melissa pointed out. But I will say it's beyond just the rhetoric for Rashida Tlaib, right? Because you also have her support of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, which even members of her own party have called out that support, but basically saying that movement just wants the elimination of Israel. You have Jerry Nadler and Bradley Schneider, who have signed on to a measure calling out members of their own party for support of that movement. So I think it's a little bit deeper than just some of the rhetoric we've seen for Rashida Tlaib, and even members of her own party calling out for what they see as anti-Israel.
I want to make sure we get Dagan in here. Dagan, is this in any way harming the Democratic Party as they go forward? Is she doing any damage?
The anti-Semitic rhetoric that we've heard from some should harm the party, because to marginalize this hatred is to normalize it. This being about 75 years since 6 million Jews were murdered just for being Jewish. And I think that the Democrats need to take a little field trip over the Holocaust Memorial Museum, and maybe they wouldn't make historical mistakes that are repugnant.
All right, we'll move on.